Hello everybody. I haven't done a video in a really long time here on YouTube, but I'm hoping this will be a fun one. It's completely has nothing to do with any of the normal stuff that I do. Here over the Christmas holiday, I decided to take the lead from a guy I'm recently following on YouTube that does some really amazing and creative work, especially when it comes to just everything from drawing to making little figurines to dealing with different metals and things like that. So he's called the CrafsMan, and I'm just getting such a kick out of his channel. So what I did was I decided to follow his lead and create a little statuette character. Mine is this little astronaut here. Let's get started. And let me move him a little forward with the focus rate. Pardon the jiggle of the camera here as I adjust this. But basically what it is he's just a little astronaut. I'm going to drill a hole in his hand right there so he can hold a nice little flag. He's got kind of an oversized head. His backpack and his head broke off when I actually made the mold. But the project was I first just made him out of clay, and then once I produced him the way I wanted to, then I went over, as you can see here, I made this sort of plasticine mold for him. I'd never done that before, and the idea here is you just like I built a box out of these cardboard, or rather these foam board pieces, and the idea with the foam board is you make a little box out of it, glue it all tightly together, and as a result you can pour this mix into it. So the mix is this smooth on product, and specifically it's the Umu 30, so it gives you a little bit of time to, because it comes in two parts and you got to mix it up real good, and then once you've mixed it up really nicely, then then it starts to harden, but you've got to get it in the right proportions. So I did a bunch of sort of pre-measuring how big the statuette figurine would be and how big the container would be, and figured out the volume of this minus that to figure out how much of this to produce. And then once I had what I wanted to produce, I basically, I glued this little buddy back here down to that, into that little box with a glue gun, and I glued the box up, and then I created the mold. Once I had the mold created, and it had sealed up, then it was a matter of cutting it in a way with these little jaggies here. The idea is so that it creates like a registration point, so when it folds back together, it will elegantly, seal back up and let you pour in a resin. And so if you look inside here, you can see it kind of has the shape. I don't know if you can really see that. Let me fiddle with the focus a little. I don't want to wreck this thing. Spend too much time fiddling with it. But you can kind of see in here a little bit that it kind of takes the shape of the little guy. And so what I'll do is I'm going to just quickly demo what it takes to fill this thing with resin, so you can see how fun it is. This bit took longer. It takes about, with this Umu 30, it took, you had about 20 to 30 minutes to get it in the box and let your model fully submerged. And then from there, it sat for like 6 hours. And then I was able to cut it open, pull out the old model, which is when he lost his head and his back. I still have to glue him back together. He doesn't, his head comes right off at the moment. I might glue his head on a little caterwonky. I think that's kind of fun to turn his head to the side there. But in any case, I was then able to pull that out, and then I'll show you how this seals back up. So give me a minute, I'm gonna reset so I can show you how it all seals up, and then we'll actually watch the thing. I'll probably time lapse it so you can see how quickly though this other stuff, this resin, it's another smooth on product. It goes in clear and turns white, and it's also a 1-to-1 ratio, but you get 3 minutes of total play time, and so you have to move pretty fast to get it in there. So I'm going to stop. I'll restart in a second here once I get the camera all set up.